Welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My channel, it's all about crochet. Well, sometimes it's about knitting, sometimes it's about yarn, but mostly it's about my journey through this fabulous yarning community. Returning subscribers, hey, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Tuesday with me for episode 2 of Tunisian Tuesday. We're getting into stitches. I filmed this tutorial yesterday. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope that you get out of it what I hope you can. I'm going to walk you through the basics. One little tip that I learned somewhere along the way, and I feel really bad, and I mentioned this in the tutorial. I don't remember who gave me this tip because I would like to recognize them for giving me this tip, but I don't remember who I heard it from. And I went back and I looked at a million things and I can't find it again. But it's just something that stuck in my head from some video that I watched, but I don't remember who it was. But anyway, there's a little tip in there on how to keep your things from curling that, you know, unfortunately with Tunisian, it curls. It's the nature of the beast. So enjoy this little bit of a tutorial, and I will see you on the end. Hi guys, so this is tutorial number 1, take 4. Yeah, I'm really trying to make this good, and I am not a professional tutorialist, so we're going to give this another shot. We're going to see what we can go if this one doesn't work out a little bit better. So today I'm going to show you a trick that I learned somewhere along the way that I can't even remember who told me this trick. And we're going to talk about, you know, the setup of this, and we're going to learn how to do the Tunisian simple stitch. Today, for today's tutorial, I'm using some Nako Mona Lisa yarn, which is a worsted weight number 4 that tells you to use a 5.5 millimeter hook. With Tunisian, you want to go up at least 2 hook sizes. I don't have a 7.5, so I went all the way up to an 8. So I have my 8 millimeter hook, and this one is on a cord. This is my Knit Picks bamboo. And the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to make a chain of how many ever you want. We aren't working with multiples today. So put, you know, the slip stitch on your hook and make a chain. Today I'm going to work on 15 stitches. So for your foundation chain, I want you to do one more than you want to do. If you're going to do 20 stitches for practice, put 21 on. If you're going to do 15, like I'm going to do, put on 16. So we're just going to do 16 chains. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now you're going to turn your work over, and into the, you know, second chain from the hook, you're just going to do a single crochet all the way down so that you have 15 or whatever your chain count is, stitches in your chain. The reason we're doing this, having like a single crochet foundation row, is that stability kind of helps your work from curling. Now, regardless, Tunisian curls, guys, it's just the nature of the beast. There is absolutely no way to completely avoid it. And that's because you only work in one direction. You're not turning your work with each row. We're doing a forward pass and a return pass, and we never turn our work. So I'm trying, hold on, I know I'm taking this out of camera view, but
I can work faster when it's closer to my body and instead of trying to do it under the camera. So I won't do that when we get to the important stuff. Okay, so here we go. We have our 15 stitches on our chain. Now, this isn't even your foundation row. This is just a setup row that's going to give you a little bit of stability at the end. There may be some patterns, say a triangle shawl. You really don't need to do this because you're going to end up with a flat edge anyway. But if you're doing, say, a blanket or the foundation of a sweater or a blanket, use this trick to keep your edges from curling. So this is the one and only time you are going to turn your work. This loop on your hook forevermore will always be the first stitch. So you're going to skip this stitch right here, go into the next one, put your loop, let's try this again. You're going to insert your hook into the stitch. You're going to pull up a loop and you're going to leave it there. You now have 2 loops. And you're going to do that all the way down. Insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert your hook, pull your yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 5, 6. Insert your hook, catch it, pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch, catch it, pull up a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See what I'm getting at? Oops, I missed that. Make sure you're catching both V's. Pull up a loop. See how on the top you have the V's? Right here and right here. Make sure your hook is going underneath both of them like you're working into a regular single crochet, but you're not finishing that single crochet. You're leaving that loop on your hook. Do it again. One more time. One more time. Now here, this is not a normal return row. So you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to insert your hook and pull up a loop. I'm going to show you a different end stitch on the next row. But this is just your foundation setup row. So now, that was your forward pass. We're not turning our work. We're not doing anything else. So you have all the loops on your hook. They're all stuck on there. So now we're going to do what's called the return pass. And the return pass to me is the most meditative thing about Tunisian crochet. So you're going to yarn over your hook and chain 1. That becomes your edge stitch right here. This is going to be the end. And now you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. You're taking 2 off. You're going to do it again. Yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Again, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And you're going to do that all the way down the end of the row. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. It's that simple. It's that meditative. It's that relaxing. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. Now you've got 2 left on your hook, right? You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, and you have finished your first row. And you see these stitches here? These legs of the stitches? That's what you want to be able to see in order to do our Tunisian simple stitch. So now we're going to start the actual stitch. So once again, this loop is your first stitch. This leg you do nothing with. You're going to take your hook, and if you can see, we have part of the stitch here and part of the stitch in the back, right? We're going to go underneath that first stitch. You're going to yarn over your hook and you're going to pull it through. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Again, we're going to insert our hook underneath that first bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, underneath that first bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. The trick with Tunisian is to be somewhat of a loose crocheter. I know sometimes people say tension is the issue. If you don't do it loosely, it's gonna make it really hard for you to get your hook into the stitches. So make sure your tension isn't super tight, but you can see I've got good tension on here. I'm just not strangling it. They're not super loose, they're not messy, but they're not super tight either. So we're going to go back under the air, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And I keep this finger is my tension on this to keep this kind of tight without, strangling it. So we're going to do this again, under, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And keep going all the way down the row until you get to the very last stitch on your stitch count here. Yarn under, yarn over, pull up a loop. And if you notice, I'm always adjusting. I'm looking at the number of stitches I have. I'm keeping this section between my finger and the hook. This is where the tension is for me anyway. This is how I gauge my tension. As long as I keep this kind of stiff, this won't get too loose, but it won't get too tight either. So, because you want to be able to manipulate these stitches. Get under that bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yeah, now this is my last 2 stitches. You can see here's 1, here's 2. So we're gonna yarn over, pull up the loop. Now on this last stitch, you see on the end here, we have 2, like a V. You wanna catch both of those. So if you need to turn your work towards you to get both of those, see how they're both on my hook here? Both of them are on the hook. Yarn over, and pull up a loop. And that just gives you this really nice finished edge on this edge. So, and you guys, if your tension isn't great at this point, that's okay. This is just practice. We're not making anything. You're gonna start and stop this 500 times. It doesn't matter if it takes you that long. Frog it, start it over again, frog it again. It's okay. This is practice. So the return pass, again, the favorite part, yarn over, pull through 1. They call that a chain 1. Okay, I'll go with that. You can chain 1. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the beginning until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Now, I'll be real honest with you. This edge always gives me fits. I start and stop this edge 15 times. This is the only stitch I'm going to tell you, like you can see how loose this is here. This beginning stitch is the only one I'm going to tell you to tighten onto your hook pretty tight because you don't work into it. it's just there as a foundation, and you want that to be kind of tight. So after I get done, I always kind of crank on my yarn so that particular stitch stays tight. And then we're going to do this again, you guys. We're just going to go back into underneath that first loop and pull up a stitch. And if you keep this tension and this kind of tight, you're going to have the perfect tension. You can see I kind of have the yarn wrapped around my pinky down here too, and then I guide it up here, and I just keep this section a little bit tighter than this because this needs to keep moving. So the tightness comes between my pointer finger and my hook. So back underneath here, yarn over, pull up a loop, and you just want to make sure that you're keeping this not super duper tight, because you want to be able to get back into that stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Underneath that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Give it a little tug just to make sure that it's secure and snug, but not super tight. Under that first leg of the stitch, pull up a loop. Give it a little bit of a tug. Use your hook, you guys. Use the shaft of your hook to keep this all, you know, pretty symmetrical, pretty even. Okay, we're coming back to my last two. We're going to go under that loop, pull up a loop. You got that. And now turn it so that you're grabbing both legs of the end stitch. See how I have all this on here? Both of those are on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all those so that you have, and look at how nice and neat that edge is going to be. So that is the Tunisian simple stitch. That is what the majority of this is, the Tunisian simple stitch. So here's what we're going to do, you guys. You're going to spend next week practicing Tunisian simple stitch. Then next week, we're going to move on to the Tunisian knit stitch. Then the week after that, we're going to move on to the Tunisian purl stitch. Then together, we are going to make this poncho, because this poncho is so customizable that you could make it like me. I'm making mine for my granddaughter Olivia, but if you wanted to, you could make it for yourself. So, because if you can do these 3 basic stitches, the Tunisian knit stitch, the Tunisian purl stitch, and the Tunisian simple stitch, you got it. And you can see, even though I did the single crochet at the bottom, this still wants to curl. And that's just because that is what Tunisian does. So let's do this one more time. We'll do one more row on this. Let's do the return pass. Okay, so on the return pass, you're going to yarn over, pull through 1, or chain 1, as they say in Tunisian patterns and whatnot. That's how they say. They'll say chain 1. And now we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. Keep this tension nice and, I mean, not like super tight, but that's where you want your tension to be. This can be as loose as you need it to be so that you can move the yarn, but between your pointer finger and your work, that's where you need that tight tension to be. If you notice, I'm moving my finger in and out to keep that tension about the same all the way down until you have 1 loop on your hook. And that is the Tunisian simple stitch. Want to do it one more time? Okay, we'll do this one more time. We've got our first one, and remember, this is the one that I kind of, crank down on so that this is nice and tight on here so that we get a nice edge on this edge. And we're going to not this first one, because that's this stitch here, right? So we're never working in that first one. You go to the second one and go under and pull up a loop. Again, under that leg, pull up a loop. Under the next one, yarn over and pull up a loop. One more time, under there, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of spreading those out so I can see where I want to go. To get underneath that leg of the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn under there, yarn over, pull up a loop. Get under that leg, yarn over, pull up a loop. Under that leg, yarn over, pull up a loop. All the way down till you get, all right, here's my last one and here's my end. So I'm going to go under this one. Then I'm going to look and I'm going to make sure I got both V's there. I'm going to go under both of those. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And that's the forward pass. Ready? We're going to do the return pass. And that is yarn over, pull through one, or chain one as they call it, and then yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, all the way down until you have just one I went too far, see? But you can just back that out really easy. One loop on your hook. Now, I'm going to show you something. When if say you, see, I made a mistake right here. See how these are kind of like together? I'm going to back this out to where I made the mistake. Those loops are still there. I can go right back in and pick up those stitches. Put those right back on my hook. And I think I need one more, so I'll go there. Now, there's the return pass. And now, there. That's the correct way the return pass looks. I caught 3 instead of 2. I was going too fast. So now yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there you go. That is the Tunisian simple stitch. Now, frogging is super easy. Say you want to frog it back to this row. You just pull this out and pull this out again and it'll go. Now, once you've pulled out to this, I always stick my hook right back into that first one so it won't go any further. And now you pull that out and you pull it out and there you are. You're right back to where you wanted to restart. I know some people are going to say this isn't for me, but I love this. I love the look of this fabric that you're creating. So give it a whirl. Practice on it for a while. If you're using cotton and want to make washcloths or just some, random squares, if you want to do squares for Jackie's hip to be square mal, you can do that too. You can double, triple dip, whatever you want to do. But just go ahead and give this a shot. Practice this for a little bit. I know all of you pencil holders say that you can't do Tunisian because of the way you hold your hook. think about this way. If you were to pick up knitting needles, you wouldn't hold them the same way that you would a crochet hook. So just because it looks like a crochet hook doesn't mean it is a crochet hook. You just have to hold it differently. And I mean, I have never seen anybody do Tunisian holding it in the pencil grip. I'm sure if you looked, you might be able to find somebody, but it seems to work best in the knife grip. So for even of you that say, oh, I can't do it because I can't hold the hook, you can. It's just a matter of learning a new skill, just like Tunisian crochet is a new skill, or picking up the knitting needles is a new skill. You can do it. So that, you guys, is Tunisian simple stitch for our stitch number 1. So I'm going to let you get back to it. Enjoy your practice. If you have any questions, I'm here. Leave a comment or shoot me an email. I try to answer all my emails as fast as I can. So we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, so that was the stitch tutorial for the Tunisian simple stitch. That is a foundation stitch. If you can do that, if you can do the simple stitch, if you can do the knit stitch and the purl stitch, you can do just about anything. Those are like the basic foundation stitches. The simple stitch will help you identify parts of the stitch. So when we move into some of the more advanced stitches later on this year, you'll be able to identify different parts of the stitch. So with that, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I really hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. Keep practicing that simple stitch. Make a washcloth or just a square, or do it and frog it and do it and frog it until you're comfortable with your tension. All you naysayers out there that you can't do this because you are a pencil holder, reset your mind. This is a new skill. You're going to learn how to do this in a different way. The hook's even way longer. You can do this. So with that, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. We will see you Wednesday for Whip Wednesday. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself some grace. But above all, be kind to everyone. And we'll see you Wednesday.